Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Tonight on the Channel 2 News, all systems are go to pave the former Pedestrian Mall that will be the center of the tourism district. Also tonight, parking meters in Garapan unveiled 17 years ago are still just bystanders. And birds on Managaha, a win for nature or hurting the tourism business. In sports, anglers stay inside the reef and catch some nice ones. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
What's the move? Kinda wild out. Catch a groove. She said, where you going? What's the move? Kinda wild out. Catch a groove. What's the move?
Overcoming drug addiction was difficult, but I found a way to get my life back on track. Recognizing my addiction was the first step towards my recovery. But that is not always easy living in the CNMI. It was hard for me to avoid things that triggered my addiction. I needed to change my routine. There were some good days and some bad days. But with the love and support from my friends and family, I never gave up. I found my path, and I continue to walk it every day. Find the path that works for you.
This project was supported by a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. Contents are solely the responsibility of the CHCC and do not necessarily represent the official views of the CDC or the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hello, welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order, please?
ご注文はお決まりですか?
The McNuggets of chicken.
I haven't had a Big Mac in a long time.
How many filet of fishes did you eat? That's over several months, Ryan.
Quiero un McFlurry.
In Puerto Rico, a McFlurry, it's called a Señor Flurry.
2 golden menus.
A wonderful crew at McDonald's.
McDonald's.
McDonald's. They're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's.
Are you gonna order something?
Pray for sunshine on Wednesday because if the weather cooperates, a concrete pour is scheduled for the 30th on the Paseo de Marianas. Preparation continues today for the project that will open up the former Pedestrian Mall to two-way traffic. We caught up with some of the heavy equipment operators today at lunch, which is about the best time to ask a heavy equipment operator some questions. Myri says they are getting ready for the Wednesday pour.
Backfilling and digging.
How long have you been driving a backhoe?
A long time, almost 20 years.
Hawaiian Rock will bring the material again, weather permitting. What's your name?
My name is Christian Parco.
Mr. Parco says he is new to Saipan. He's just been here for 1 month. What's your favorite thing to do in Saipan on your day off?
Nothing day off. All working. Yeah.
You're working 7 days a week?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck. Project manager Tim Lang said today that the pour will not go all the way to Beach Road. It will stop for now at Royal Palm Avenue while they work on constructing a new drainage area before they link up the Paseo with Beach Road. But cars will be able to use the newly poured road while the work continues on the Beach Road link. Parking meters installed 17 years ago in western Garapan have never actually been turned on. Here is a look back from a story we did in 2006.
Parking meters still covered in plastic and cardboard line several streets of Garapan. It is a project that still hasn't gotten quite off the ground. DPW says the goal is to alleviate overcrowding in that area.
Basically is to educate the public into carpooling or parking at home, walking over in a close distance for residents around. Just park at home, walk over.
DPW's Acting Director of Technical Services, Joseph Eno, says it will also generate money for the Sinamay government. DPW's AJ Duenas took a 4-day meter maintenance and troubleshooting course in Arkansas. He recently returned to Saipan.
Let's say vandalism or defacing of the mechanism. If they put like a gum or anything in there or pin, then yeah, that's the part where we're in trouble now. But further in maintaining it, now if it's kept maintained, then it's okay.
The training is done and the meters are ready to go. DPW says they are thinking of charging $1 an hour, but currently things are at a standstill.
Flash forward to 2023, Governor Palacios says it is probably time to take them out.
I was in the legislature when that thing was put in there, and that thing was not free. It cost. That was it, right? Mm-hmm. You were in the legislature too.
I didn't vote.
I didn't want to freaking, like, really? We're talking about parking meters here, but it was an issue, right? Nobody wanted to take ownership of who's going to get it done.
The meters can be confusing to tourists and visitors who aren't sure how or where or if they need to put money in. So what happens now?
It's dysfunctional. I mean, it's true. You're absolutely true. What you say is like, why do we even have them there if they're not functioning, right? Take them off and not have people confused. But parking in Garapan is going to be and will continue to be an issue.
Friday's power outage slowed down the Board of Education meeting, but didn't stop it. It was an emergency meeting called by the board as they reacted to the news that current Commissioner Alfred Atta will resign. The commissioner citing health reasons, but he has also been named in a harassment complaint filed by PSS employee Bobby Cruz. Dr. Rizalina Liwag was designated as the acting commissioner by Atta while he was out on sick leave, but since this will be for an extended period of time, the board is now involved. The board went into executive session shortly after starting the meeting and emerged with 4 names that they would consider to serve in an acting capacity as PSS commissioner. That would be up for up to 90 days. The board chair is in charge of contacting those individuals to gauge their level of interest and commitment. Meanwhile, they do plan to announce the commissioner position by the end of the week. If you haven't been to Managaha Island lately, one thing you'll notice is there are more birds than ever. These black noddies set up homes during the pandemic and are quite comfortable in the trees on the south side of the island, the same place that tourists like to nest. Visitors are greeted by chirps, whistles, and screeches, and that's the nice part. There are also some aerial drops that are going on daily.
You look at the tree and there's thousands of birds in every single tree. Wow. There's pictures of people eating soup and then bird poo that just comes down.
Black noddies ensure that shade can have a price to pay for those down in the firing line. Some call it a win for nature.
I think there are like a lot more birds. Like I got a lot of bird poops.
Yeah, just now.
U.S. Fish and Wildlife says the black noddy is a seabird that nests in large colonies in trees and shrubs and may also use cliffs or caves for nesting. They only lay 1 egg at a time, but unlike many seabirds, they can re-nest during a season, especially if a nest attempt fails. Noddies sometimes forage collaboratively with large predatory fish, feeding on small fish brought to the surface by tuna and jacks. Black noddies are protected under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act. This means that the birds, eggs, nestlings, and nests are protected. It's illegal to purposefully or incidentally or accidentally injure or possess them or any of their parts. Purposeful take of migratory birds may be authorized by permit from U.S. Fish and Wildlife's Migratory Birds Office for specific justifications. Disturbance or other activities that cause the failure of the nest of a migratory bird is considered incidental take, which is illegal under the Treaty Act.
It's an ongoing issue, and we're still actually discussing that with concerned people about what's going on. Honestly, I can't really say much about that until we're done with what we're doing with them. We need to talk to not only ourselves, but also consult with U.S. Fish and Wildlife about some of the issues regarding those birds.
Save big on mobile and home internet with Link. Get a mobile plan with 40 gigabytes of LTE data and 30 Mbps down on home internet for as low as $95 a month. Better yet, bundle your services with any iPhone 14 series and receive a $50 credit, a SuperPod AX, and basic installation completely free. We'll also cover your first 2 months of home internet service for savings of over $500. Offer valid for a limited time, so Link, bundle, and save today. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Tee it up for tourism Labor Day weekend. No ifs, ands, or puts. Check out the Marianas Tourism Golf Classic on Saturday, September the 2nd, West Course. Lau Lau Bay Golf and Resort medal play format with 7 flights, cash, and amazing prizes. And best of all, proceeds benefit the Marianas Tourism Education Council and School My Wave clubs. Registration forms available at Lau Lau Bay MVA or on the Marianas calendar online. Wait, hold everything. Some breaking news. Early bird registration has been extended through August 30th, so sign up by Wednesday at 5 p.m. May the course be with you.
One of the best addresses in Saipan has office space available now, right in the heart of things. The Marianas Business Plaza offers reasonable rates and can help build to suit your needs. You'll love the central location, just 15 minutes from the airport and 10 minutes from Garapan. Ample and covered parking keeps your vehicle close and protected. 2 restaurants for easy access, lunch, dinner and business meetings. Building security and 24-hour access to your office. Backup generators, so you can run your business in all weather. And 3 elevators mean easy and convenient access. It's the address in Saipan, the Marianas Business Plaza.
Get your goods here with care and attention with Micronesia Air Cargo Services. MAX is all about connections. Daily flights to and from Guam, 4 times a week to Rota, and bi-weekly flights to Tinian. We are connecting the Marianas. Perishable goods, Home Depot furniture and appliances, even live animals, operating since 2013. Check out our Thursday special to Rota from Guam and Saipan. Call Max at 670-288-6227. If it fits, we'll take it.
Dr. Sean McDuff will be the new superintendent for the Mariana Trench Marine National Monument. The monument was established by a presidential proclamation in January of 2009. This proclamation was a habitat conservation effort that designated international, national, and local recognition for the area to be a refuge for seabirds, sea turtles, coral reefs, and more. This protects the submerged lands and waters around the 3 northernmost Mariana Islands, 18 undersea volcanoes, and thermal vents west of the Marianas and the Mariana Trench itself. The total area of the National Monument is massive, about the size of the state of Arizona. Friends of the Mariana Trench, who have been pushing for a management plan for the monument for many years, have recently withdrawn a request to make the area a sanctuary and will now focus their efforts on a management plan.
We now have a contact station for the monument down at the American Memorial Park with the leadership of Jihan Yunus and now the most recent superintendent, Dr. Sean McDuff, who will be here in the coming months, who's also a local native from here. And so, you know, we're excited that things are moving along with the monument, and that's going to be the focus now.
The Mariana Trench is the deepest place on Earth. It is 5 times longer than the Grand Canyon and deeper than the height of Mount Everest above sea level. It includes over 50 million acres that are virtually unknown to humans and supports wildlife in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. The species survive in this area despite living among hydrothermal vents that produce highly acidic and boiling water. McDuff will oversee the Mariana Trench National Wildlife Refuge and the Mariana Arc of Fire National Wildlife Refuge, which is a geologically complex arc of 18 undersea mud volcanoes and thermal vents. In some ways, McDuff will be looking over his own backyard. He grew up in the islands and started his career in conservation in Hawaii, and studied coral reefs in both Hawaii and Saipan for the University of Hawaii at Manoa before going on to earn his doctorate in zoology. McDuff also served as a fisheries biologist for the NMI Division of Fish and Wildlife before working with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Dr. McDuff will begin his new position in mid-September 2023. For Channel 2 News, this is Trey Youngdahl reporting.
More tonight with Dee Tenorio, a commercial diver who started her underwater career with an open water class through the Northern Marianas College. Since then, she's worked offshore in the Gulf of Mexico and around the world. It's hard work, it's hard to see, and you quickly learn that to stay safe and stay alive, you need to rely on your work family. And you could say most of this family is brothers, and you wouldn't be far off because there are very few sisters, and that's something that inspires Dee Tenorio.
There's approximately about 6,000 divers plus the entire world. In that number, there's only about 0.03% women in this industry.
So when you show up on a job, do people go like, whoa?
Oh yeah, I've been to jobs where we're loading and getting ready, mobilizing. And we have guys that came in from the bus and they're gonna mobilize as well. And they get down and they look at me and they're like, oh my God, you're a girl. I'm like, oh my God, thank God. I woke up with that. If it was a different story right now, we're gonna have a problem.
For a successful and safe commercial dive operation, the team has to trust in their topside for help. It can be a life and death situation.
A lot of them are shocked that there's a girl. But there's some that are like, oh, you shouldn't be here because you're a girl. You can't do the things that men do. And I'm like, to me, those kind of comments turn into fuel to me, like, oh yeah, watch, I'm gonna show you. And then there's some guys that are all for it, supportive, like, yeah, this is awesome, and sharing their knowledge.
So what kind of people take on the challenge of commercial diving? Diving deep, working in the dark, building oil company infrastructure.
If you're doing this for a living, then there's definitely a loose screw somewhere there for doing it, because I mean, it's dangerous. I know guys that have been down 800 feet.
Diving at depth takes a lot of preparation and science. When you are breathing compressed air, the water pressure keeps those gases dissolved in the bloodstream. But if you ascend too quickly, bubbles can form, and these bubbles of gas can kill you. Scuba divers call it the bends, and it can happen even in relatively shallow water. Divers going down even 20 meters always do safety stops on their way up. But commercial divers are going much deeper, and the science gets much more complicated. The solution when you work at depth is to stay at depth in a diving bell where you live and work under pressure for days and even weeks at a time.
To me, it's the highest level you can go as a commercial diver. Being a saturation diver where you get pressed down and pressure in the chamber and you live there for 30 days and you live with 4 other people. So imagine yourself being in your bathroom with 4 bunks and 4 other bodies in there, and you live in there and you work.
The bell works in tandem with a big ship, and after the job is done, you don't come up to sea level right away, you come up gradually.
Coming back up to surface, you have to decompress. So we have to slowly bring you up, and sometimes that can take somewhere between a couple days to 2 weeks to to a month. It just depends on what depth the divers are in at the moment.
Saturation divers work in teams of 2 at the deep job sites.
That bell takes you to where the job site is at.
And then you exit the bell to work?
You put your gear on, you exit the bell, one of you exit the bell, go do work for 6 hours, come back. You and your partner swap out, you stay in the bell, watch the gas, as your other partner goes and finish off the next 6 hours. It's a 12-hour shift.
Chris Nelson for the Channel 2 News. Are you fascinated by extreme habitats and unusual creatures? Think deeply about the Marianas Trench, and you'll fall deeply in love with this monument's plunging underwater landscape, which people call the Grand Canyon of the ocean. But it goes way deeper than that. Yes, our islands are home to the deepest waters on the planet. Here, underwater volcanoes bubble with mud, and yawning canyons host some of the world's strangest marine species. The Marianas Trench is about 1,500 miles long, over 40 miles wide, and 36,000 feet deep. The bottom is over 7 miles below the surface. That's about how high a commercial airline flies above the Earth. The pressure of the water is about 1,000 times greater down here than at sea level, and it's cold, just 1 or 2 degrees Celsius. And it's right in our backyard. What is it, though, and why is it there? It's part of a boundary between 2 tectonic plates, the Pacific Plate and the Philippine Plate. The Pacific Plate is older, cooler, and denser than the younger Philippine Plate and has crustal material that is up to 170 million years old. The western edge of the Pacific Plate is subducted or thrust under the Philippine Plate. The movement of these 2 plates is the reason we have the Mariana Islands. Our volcanic islands are caused by flux melting of the upper mantle, due to the release of water that is trapped in minerals of the subducted portion of the Pacific Plate. In 2009, the Marianas Trench was established as a U.S. national monument. The presidential proclamation was made for the purpose of protecting objects of scientific interest, including things like submerged volcanoes, hydrothermal vents, and coral reef ecosystems. We currently know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the trench, but there are some exciting exploration expeditions that are essential to understanding and managing these deep water resources. In March of 2021, Nicole Yamase became the first Pacific Islander and the 4th woman to descend to the depths of Challenger Deep, the deepest part of the trench. The scientist grew up in Palau, Saipan Chuk, and Ponape, and is studying the effects of climate change. Yamase hopes her experience will inspire Pacific Islander women to pursue STEM and higher education. If I can do it, she said, they can do it too. So think deeply. Premium office space available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Upgrade your work-life balance and enjoy a distinctive blend of location and nature with open spaces and ocean views. It's the perfect place for creative professionals who want real results. Call us at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com.
Buenas sports fans.
Over 40 boats participated in this weekend's Mafuti Fishing Derby.
It was good. It was a little bit choppy going out, but we actually found a good spot and we actually caught some good stuff. We were able to enter all the different categories, so it felt good on the boat. So yeah, it wasn't, we caught a lot. We almost maybe half cooler.
Prizes for first place all the way down to fifth place.
This is our 5th annual ride, so next year we're going to have it again. So for Tinian and Rhoda, please come down and compete with us boys over here.
Tournament is a unique one. It's the only one held inside the reef.
Have a tournament that's inside the lagoon as opposed to outside, because a lot of the tournaments are, outside trolling for the big catch, for tuna, wahoo, and all that stuff. But here, this is very unique because we're doing Mafuti, right? So
these are like for the smaller boats?
Yeah, these are for the smaller boats. Every year, there's always the question of trying to increase it. But right now, we're sticking with 17 feet and below for entry. And then, yeah, so it's really for the smaller boats that really these are the guys that are going out there almost every day. This kind of tournament is really for them.
Keith Kintal is the president of the association, says they initially had some concerns about the weather system in the area.
It actually, we were monitoring a weather system throughout the week. We worked with our agencies, DPS and Homeland, and we worked with them to see if the weather for the boaters will be favorable. We worked with CPA to ensure that the ongoing and incoming traffic on the boats, they were aware. We have youth participants, and we want to make sure that the youth participants were safe out there.
MVA's Ed Diaz fished with his son and father-in-law.
In the morning, we caught 2 big ones at about maybe 7 o'clock, and then it slowed down.
So where did he catch the winning fish?
On the south. I cannot tell you where in the south. Pretty happy. I needed it, but this is the sport, and it's for the kids too. So that's why I always bring my son to train him so that he can take over. But I've been doing this for years.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goat's Gym, and today we're going to show you a Bulgarian split squat, a fantastic lower body exercise that should be a main staple in your training. Now the first thing we want to address is the rear foot placement. Now whether it's toes on or toes off, just find what's comfortable for you. The bigger issue we want to tackle is the height of the box or bench. You see, when you set up on a box or a bench that's too high, that inherently puts an aggressive stretch on the front of your hip. Oftentimes, that sensation will take away from the working leg, the leg that's on the floor. And when you start to add load in this faulty position, you're bound to run into some problems, particularly if you got some mobility restrictions. So Jamila's gonna set up, she's gonna descend with control, and from there just stand tall.
Hey golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
Taking a look at the weather, a high surf advisory is in effect until 6 a.m. Saturday along south and west facing reefs. There is a high risk of rip currents through late Friday night along south and west facing reefs. Tonight, mostly cloudy with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, lows around 79 and a 50% chance of showers. Tuesday, mostly cloudy with numerous showers and isolated thunderstorms. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, highs around 84 and a 60% chance of showers. Tuesday night, mostly cloudy with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Light and variable winds, lows around 79 and a 50% chance of showers. High tide will be 2.1 feet at 7:07 p.m. and low tide 1.7 feet at 11:32 p.m.